What does MC stand for? You might have answered Magna Carta, or Master of Ceremony, or maybe even Miley Cyrus or Mariah Carey. But what if you hadn't grown up in this country? What if you had been born in Cuba and raised in Venezuela? Our beliefs, understanding of principles, and perceptions of morality rest on the building blocks of the culture in which we were born. Those building blocks support a control system which is equipped with many weapons of mass control. So what does MC stand for? Guess what? I just caused you to believe that MC stands for mass control. I just planted a thought in your brain. Yep, that's how mental conditioning works. It starts at a very early age at home, and our parents are the ones that set mental conditioning in place, which is quickly taken over by the school system, and religion, and politics, and the media. Believe it or not, we are all influenced and manipulated by mental conditioning, everywhere and all the time. One of the ways our brain is programmed is through fear. The part of our brain responsible for survival instincts tell us to fear a bear in the woods or a shark in the ocean. This is the oldest part of the brain. It triggers fear in order to ensure our survival. So don't fear hell. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. That's right, the myth exists mainly because people want to survive forever. Hell is a very powerful weapon of mind control, which takes me back to the section of our brain that triggers fear. Known as the reptilian brain, this part of our biological hard drive is also responsible for habit forming and ritualistic behavior, which is why many politicians talk to the reptilian brains of their audience. Bush successfully did it after 9/11. He used it to persuade the population to accept invasion and war and to pass the Patriot Act, which violated civilian rights to privacy. Repetitive habit patterns, routines, and complicated rituals are very dangerous because they negatively affect our brain, especially the neocortex, the part responsible for spatial reasoning and sensory perception. Most people are, in a sense, living in a prison they cannot see nor touch, a prison for their minds. I know it sounds creepy, right? Well, it gets better. Or worse, try this sometime. When you're standing on a corner waiting to cross the street, take a peek and see if there is another adult behind you. Then look both ways. If there's no cars, carefully cross the street when the light is still green. I can almost guarantee that the person behind you will follow. We are so accustomed, so used to mental conditioning that we don't even notice when it happens, where it happens, nor how it happens. In fact, most of the human population is right now being conditioned, manipulated, and controlled via TV commercials, news channels, politicians, religious leaders, and many other organizations that seek to program our brain in order to keep us walking like sheep, sounding like sheep, behaving like sheep. Their establishment works hard to ensure the masses act like robots and mentally enslave them more and more each day. But how? How do we overcome mental conditioning if it's something that is deeply rooted in almost all aspects of our lives? How? If it's apparently out of our control? I am no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I am changing the things I cannot accept. The first thing we need to do is to think for ourselves. When we allow new information to change our lives, even if it clashes and challenges our previous beliefs and views, we are telling our brains that it is okay to be wrong, that it is okay to change our minds. But most importantly, we are telling our brains that it is okay to go against the current, to stand out instead of blending in, to allow yourself to speak out even when your socially conditioned mind tells you to be polite. We must unite and fight prejudice, racism, discrimination, injustice, tyranny, false information, and so forth. But to do that successfully, to win, we need to overcome fear, be ourselves, and speak our truth. Mental conditioning is not just a crazy conspiracy theory promoted by Alex Jones. Mental control is real. Think about it. Do you seriously believe that your thoughts are yours?
If you're a Muslim woman who grew up in Saudi Arabia, for example, you would probably think it's perfectly okay to have to ask your husband for permission before you speak. If you're a Muslim man who grew up in that country, you would probably think that it is very disrespectful when women don't cover their hair.
If you, on the other hand, were born in the USA, you would most likely think that such customs are nonsense and that they are a disgrace. Don't get me wrong, I support people's freedom to believe whatever they want, as long as those beliefs don't negatively affect others who don't believe like they do. But think about it. If you were born in China, you would probably be a Buddhist. If you were born in India, there's a good chance that you grew up worshiping Krishna. If you were born in any other part of the world, you would like different music, dress different, eat different food, and most likely think different too. So you see, social and mental conditioning dictate how we think, what we believe, and what we consider tradition. The only way that you can deflect the terrible and effective weapons of mass control is to overcome fear so that you can truly be yourself and speak your truth. I recommend you research this topic extensively. There is a lot of information out there. However, you must take this information with a grain of salt and research it yourself. And deeply study it before drawing a conclusion. I can tell you that for me, it has been an amazing journey full of intriguing discoveries. So go ahead, allow yourself to consider other perspectives. Let your brain acquire new information, even if it clashes and challenges your current beliefs and views. Allow new information to change your life. It is the only way you can be free.